Hello, little painters. Today we are going to be painting Yoda. My name is Tammy. I'm going to show you what kind of paint you're going to need. A little bit of black, and I have too much of all of my colors. Black, red, and white to make the pink in his ears. Where am I going? Red and white to make the pink in his ears. Brown and white to make his robe. And then we're also going to need some green. I don't have green, so I make green out of the blue and the yellow. So if you have green, then you don't need blue and yellow. So that's up to you guys. We are going to use 2 brushes today. Just going to have like a medium one and a pointier one to draw him out with first. If you want to have a background on yours, you can paint yours any color you want. You can make planets and stars. If you want to put a lightsaber in his hand, you can just do that. Maybe you want him holding a teddy bear or eating an ice cream. It's up to you, whatever you want to do with your Yoda. But I'm gonna show you how to draw baby Yoda, and you can make him whatever you want. Okay, so I'm gonna start by making my green because I don't have green. I'm gonna take my yellow, and I'm gonna take just, look at how little blue I use. See that? Hardly anything. And I'm going to take and I am going to mix it right in that yellow. Look at it, it's turning green. You always start with a little bit. Just start with a little bit and it'll start to turn green. This is too yellow, so I'm going to wipe some off. And I'm going to take a little bit more blue, just a little bit. Put it in that mix it around. Mix it all up. And see if it's the color green that you like. You see it turning green? Maybe it's too bright in here and you don't see my green very well. If you want it to be a little bit darker, you can take just a little dot of black, tiny little dot of black. Stick it in there. And then your Yoda color is going to be just a little bit of a darker green, not such a limey green color. I like this color, so that's what I'm going to start with. I'm going to wipe all the extra off my brush, roll it around on there, get it off until it's to a nice little point again. So now my brush is going to get all this paint off, and it's just going to be pointy. And I am going to draw the shape of Yoda. Now what you have to watch for is, what do you want to have in the sky? Do you want to have your Yoda down here so you have lots of sky? You're going to be putting his position in. We're going to start with his head. I'm going to start right in the middle with his head, and all it is a circle. You can find something to trace it with. Maybe you have a cup. Look at the nice circle on that. It's not very big. Depends on what size canvas you have. I'm just going to go ahead and wing it. I'm going to draw my own with the green. So I want him to be about here. Doesn't matter if you mess this up because we have to color it in. Right? Can you all see my circle? All right. So drawing this circle, this is Yoda's face. And on this bottom part right here, just a little bit of a square mark there. Just on that bottom corner. And the reason that I'm doing that is because he's looking a little bit to the side. And that's why I do that. Then I'm going to draw his ear. So coming off his head, just as it comes around the corner, if you were looking at a clock and this was 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, if you went to 2 o'clock and you started right at 2 o'clock and you came down like that. Can you guys see that very well? And then from here, you come up, give it a little wiggle. There's his ear. Kind of funny looking, isn't it? Kind of looks a little bit like an eyeball. Big ears. Big ears on Yoda. And on the other side, it's going to be hanging down a little bit more. So again, if this is a clock, 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. We're going to start at 10 o'clock. And instead of it coming straight out, let's make this one come down a little bit. And then it's going to start here at that little square part. And it's going to make its way up. So now it kind of looks like a leaf. Isn't that cool? The inside of Yoda's ear is pink. We don't want to paint it all green, so we're going to make the shape so it's got a little whoop, whoop there. Follows along the side of the face. And then it's almost like a flag shape. And I'm going to do the same on this one. Comes way up higher though. Whoop, whoop. Follows the face along. And it's like a little flag shape. Right, bring that nice and close. You guys see the shapes of those? Pause it here if you want to keep watching the shapes. We're going to paint everything green except for inside of those two shapes right there. So I'm going to switch this brush out. And I'm going to take my medium-sized brush because it's just going to cover it up faster. So go ahead and color in his whole face. And both of his ears are going to get covered in, except for that one flag shape that you guys made right there. And right now, I don't like the color of my Yoda. He looks too yellow-green, so I'm going to try putting a little bit more black in my green. A little bit more black in my green because I want to change the color. And maybe just a touch of yellow, a touch of white. White and black. That's going to change my color, make him a little bit more Yoda color. Let's see what that color looks like. Oh, yeah, that's a way better color. Add just a touch of black and some white. Don't get your white all dirty. Just go to the edge of your white. See how I went right to the side of my pile of white instead of right in the middle? Whoops, because I'm going to need white for something else, and I don't want to mix green in there. So I got all my color on there, but you can see all my lines, so I'm just going to lightly go over it. And I smooth my lines out a little bit. Oh, yeah. That looks really good. Looks really good. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about coloring that pink yet. I have to draw his robe, so I am going to take my pointy brush, get all that green paint off of there, and I'm going to go into the black. And I'm going to make his robe. His robe is going to come up over his face a little bit, so it's going to start there, and it's going to go on this side too. See how it cuts like that? And then roll it around. So by his ears. And it's kind of making like a scarf. There. So you've got that shape. And then right here, he's got his, the sleeve part. So we're going to give a little bit here, sort of a rounded type of rectangle. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. And then we're going to make the shape of his jacket. So starting from here, the end of his sleeve, we're going to bring it towards his belly a little bit. And then, so it's coming straight down from his ear. Then it's going to come off to the side and it's going to wiggle out that way. Like his robe. Okay? Got it? All right. On this side, it's coming down from right over here from the edge of his robe. You can make that even wider if you want, but it's coming like that. And his little arm comes out a little ways. I'm going to make a little, one of those rectangle things. And then we're going to make his robe come right from his sleeve out a little bit and then come across. There we go. So this little robe comes like this. There. Then he's going to have little green hands. Ooh, little green hands. Back to the hands. I guess we can draw those in black and then we can color them in. How about that? All right. So his little hand here. Again, you can put this and you can have a lightsaber coming out of it. Maybe that's what you want to do. Maybe he has two of them. But it's just kind of a little circle. That's his hand. And over here, his hand's going to come up into his face a little bit. So it's going to be here and up there, maybe like that. So it's kind of three little prongs. It's going to be all green. We're going to let that dry. So I want you to clean up all the green out of your medium-sized brush. Now that we have all the shapes. Well, you can take that green right now because we still have some green in there. Then you can color in his hands. Don't touch the black because it'll make it black inside and you don't want that. So color in there. Now I'm going to touch the black here because I went over it, but that's okay, just a little bit. Do it last. There's his hand. Right, so that's going to be weird in there. Clean that all off. And if inside of his collar, like this part here, you guys, if you have some green in it like I do, you need to first go over that with some white. So color in that part that's green, color it in white first. Spread it around. It's going to be really faint. Whoops, got a little bit of the black. I'm going to be careful. Maybe a big person can blow dry before you do this so that the black doesn't get everywhere. And there's a black in there that we don't want to carry in, so I'm going to cover up that black in his sleeve. And see how I didn't dry it. I didn't dry it with a blow dryer because I'm painting for you guys. So I picked up a little bit of green in here and I picked up some black in here. If yours is dry, you're not going to get that. You're just going to cover up your color. Now wash all that black or gray or green or whatever you have from making a mistake. If you made one, just get it all off there. You want to have a nice clean medium-sized brush. And we're going to make the light brown color for his collar and his sleeve. So we're going to take some brown over here. Take a big blob of your brown, move it over, and take a little bit of white and stick it in there and move it around. You want this to be the lighter version. So swirl it around and make a light. I need it to be lighter. Take some more white. Make a nice light version. But I don't want it to be white. Okay, so nice light brown, and there's my dark brown. So just in the little sleeve areas, paint that light brown. And then this one, paint that light brown. And then in his collar, always coming together. Very nice. Okay. Mine's still wet with that white, so it might take 2 coats here. Might take me 2 coats. All right, so there's that. Now what I want you to do is take most of that off. Take that black or that dark brown, put some of the light brown in it so it's still darker. And we're going to color in his whole robe with a darker brown. So it should be darker than his sleeve and his collar. If you're almost out of brown and it's not darker, add a little bit of black to your brown. That will make it a bit darker. So I'm going around all the edges with my dark brown. This is great. Great, I tell you. Love it. Star Wars was one of my favorite movies. I was around in the 1970s when the originals came out. We waited in line for hours to get in that. Interesting. It was very, very interesting. Okay, and then just going to color the whole thing in. Any old way you can. I'm learning how to paint. I'm waiting for his face to dry. I'm going to change the look on his face because he looks sad or angry. And I don't want my Yoda to be angry Yoda. I don't want him to be angry. Okay, there we go. His whole robe is covered. We're going to put some different lines on so you can tell where his arms and things were in a minute. Just going to make that nice and smooth. Going over it really lightly, making it nice and smooth. It would be easier if I had a big brush to do this, but I'm not using a big brush today. Okay, so we've got all the colors right. I'm going to put this away. I'm going to get that little round brush again, clean it off, make sure that there's no paint on it. We're going to take a tiny bit of red, just a little bit. See how little we're using? Just covering that brush a little bit. And put it over here, and then we're going to take the edge of the white, and we're going to make some pink. Okay? Take that red and bring it over there. Okay, there we go. We got some nice light pink. Make sure you have enough to get in his ears and a little on his cheeks. So I'm going to color in those flag shapes. It's okay if you go over the green a little bit and bring some of that in. It's okay. There you go. He's got pink ears. Over here in his cheeks, he had a little bit of pink in his cheeks, so I'm going to tap some pink and tap some pink on this side, just above both of those, and then I'm going to tap it with my finger, just so that it's not too bright. It's going to look like he's blushing a little bit. Okay, there you go. That's all you're going to do with that. We're going to clean this off because we have to go to black to give him eyeballs and things. So clean all that off, and I'm going to go to black. Still want his face to dry a little bit more. I'm painting really fast. Your face might be dry already. I'm going to show you the marks on his robe, okay? So in here, it's going to come down to the center, and then it's going to carry on a little bit in his robe. And then we need to see where his arm was, so go all the way around this shape where it's his collar. And then when you're on the edge of this, bring this down and connect it right to his robe. I'm going to show you that nice and close. Okay. So I went all the way around his collar, his little, whatever, collar? No, that's his collar. So his sleeves. And then when I went right to the side of the sleeve, and I took this line, I drew it down on an angle so it connected with the robe there. On this one, I'm going to go all the way around, and I'm going to bring it up just a little bit on that edge. just a little bit. Okay. And then all I'm going to do is just go all the way around his robe with black. You might need a steady hand, but I'm going to go around the collar. And your big person can do this part, but you should try it. It's just for fun. Go all the way around, go all the way around. And here, pull the sleeve down. So we're just following all the way around. I'm going to see if this changes the light a little bit. Is it too bright? I can't tell if it's too bright or not. I think that's good. I'll have to see when I play it back. I might have to adjust my lighting. It might be too much glare on here. So then just follow your Yoda all the way around. It's okay if this line is nice and thick. You want to be able to see it. You might have to add a little bit of water to your black or get your paintbrush wet first. Depends on if you're using thick paint or thinner paint. I'm using thick, so I had to add a little bit of water to mine. Okay, and then for his face, we're going to go all the way around the outside of his ears. So I'm just going to go all the way around his face, and then I'll show you where to put the marks on his face. Top of his head. Now where his head is here, and it's going to go all the way around. Remember that original circle that you had, and we left a space there? Now we have to make that black. So I'm going to redo that circle. There you go. Redid that circle. And I'm going to go around this side. And I'm going to come around and make that circle again. And then his ear comes off. Ooh. There. He's all colored in. That's excellent. Now he just needs eyes and stuff. So I want to put an eye right here. I'm going to start with a circle. And I want him to have great big eyes. It's a nice, great big round eye. And over here, I'm going to have another little eye, and it's just going to keep getting bigger. See how I would go in and turn it like a Harry Potter wand? Just keep making them go around until they look like they're the same size. I'm going to start getting loud in here. I got two little boys upstairs jumping around. Okay, so now Yoda. Yoda always had wrinkles in his forehead. I'm going to start with one right between between his eyes. We're going to put a dark line there. And then he's got kind of like a V shape. And then kind of like another little V shape. Got wrinkles. And then he has like a little nose here. And let's make him smile this time, okay? We're just going to give him like a half smile. So it's kind of like a Nike thing. Now I've got a happy Yoda. And he has one little bag under his eyes. And then he has like round eyebrows. Okay, I'm going to bring that nice and close so you guys can see the face. Oh, I missed a piece. I missed a piece, you guys. Right there. All right, down. There we go. He's all colored in. So I'm not finished making his eyes shiny. But look how happy he looks this time. Do you see where all my marks are? Okay, so he's got a little happy half smile this time. He's going to look a little different here in a second. Where's I put the white marks on him? So I'm going to take my pointy brush. Now if you've got a nice small little wooden end like this, you can dip that straight into your white with the wood end straight in, and you're going to put some shiny dots on his eyes. So I'm going to start on the right side and put a big dot and then a little dot. And then on this one, right side again, big dot and then a little dot. And then he's got some shine. Okay, here we go. So see his shiny dots? The big one's on the right side, the big one's on the right side. Little one on the left and the little one on the left. They have to be the same or it'll just start looking weird. Okay, you don't want it to look weird. Let me see if I can draw a lightsaber. What do they look like? I can't even remember. I think the bottom was gray. So I'm going to mix a little bit of black and white. Maybe a little bit more white. There we go. So we got gray. So I'm going to do the handle in gray. And I'm going to come down here. Is that the sound that it makes? Okay, so he's got this nice gray lightsaber. I'll put a little bit of white on it so you can really see it. And then it's going to come up. Yeah, should actually be pointing down. I'm making it go up. Is this lightsaber going to be pink or light blue? Light blue. So I'm going to mix a little bit of white with some blue. Get a nice light blue color. And make that lightsaber. So I want to go straight up like that. So here I come. Ooh, might need some help with the straight line. I'm going to go behind his ear. Don't want to mess his ear up. Be so careful not to touch that black. Okay, I didn't go all the way down because I want to do a little bit more gray there. Just so that it looks like, maybe I'll do it, yeah, like that. There. I like that. But I wanted to make it look a little bit shiny, so I'm going to put some white in there. So it looks like it glows a little bit. See the little white that I put in there? So I put a little bit of white inside of his lightsaber, but see the gray that I put at the bottom? A little bit of white. Now it looks like it's glowing. It looks kind of sneaky now. It's like sneaky Yoda. If you want to do a planet, I'm going to do the blue one that I did earlier. Put it up here. Just drew a circle, and I colored it all in with blue. So just make a circle, color it in blue. Because planets are round. And then I had some green left over. And then I just blobbed some green shapes on like this. And then it kind of looked like Earth. Right? Let me continents and put something down there. I don't know. It's not accurate. Cleaning that brush off. I need to put some white on there so it looks like it's got a little bit of white in. So it looks like it has some clouds from space. And there you go. It looks like planet Earth. So it's up to you, whatever you want to put on your Yoda. Maybe you want to color your background first. Color it whatever color that you want. If you're coloring your background black, you're going to have to go around this guy in white because that's not going to show up very well. All right, so all you do when you're done with that is just sign it. And that's your Yoda. And I think next time I have a crab. I'm going to do a really cool crab. So we'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for shopping or thanks for painting with me. Make sure your big people send me a picture. Okay, bye.